come this way before. Travel through the open door. Circumstances navigated the path. And life happened all so fast. No, it got lonely. Sometimes you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet. And nothing can shake me. Cause I know life took a hold on me. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games to play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, it's all in what you do, some things you gotta do, Fight for millions, take a second, see the blessing in it. With much expected, much is given. When I made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness, yes. You can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it to life. For the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm aces. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition, I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. While cancer slowing our road, I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah,
give back, give love, give in way. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm gonna wrestle and fight this final round. Let's fight for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games to play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, it's all in what you do, some things you gotta do,
Hey. Do. Who's first? Omega Red. Hey, you had to, channel so nice, you had to comment twice. What up, TB? DB, Kenyatta Ali, Dream Cooking, man. OG, Triple OG, Quadruple OG. What it do? Corey Yellowman Jackson, man. Agitators in the building, man. Zap, Hawkins, TB again. Hurricane Carter, no Ruben. And Kendati, somewhere in there. Phonetically pronounce that for me. What up, Reggie Owens? Mr. Finesse. Yeah, he got that Drew Titan voice. Yo, it's Tuesday. Drew. What we on? We off tomorrow, or you still got that new schedule? What up, Pretty Cal? I'll be back in a little while. Okay, you just came in, just say hello. You know, that's just like a woman. Just walk by with her perfume and a skirt on. You know what I mean? They just walk by. They know you looking. What up, Christopher Lane? Jose, what up, man? I work out in a gym that's owned by a man by the name of Jose. Hey. Welcome to the show, man. So I figured we'll de-accelerate, man. You know what I mean? I was like, man, do I just go straight into a boxing topic this evening, or do I just talk about the hot button? You know, there was a topic where I probably could have got more people in here, you know, with the Floyd Mayweather. Just he said some shit about T.I. today. I mean, that I heard today. Y'all sent it to me. Oh man. It's wartime. I mean, if it wasn't wartime then, it's wartime now between he and T.I. Somebody will break the news tomorrow, but if you guys want to watch Drink Champs. Oh my God. Floyd said some of the most, I mean, one of the more inflammatory things you can say to a husband. You know what I mean? Basically saying your wife ain't shit. You know, oh my God. He said it it's just beyond my own understanding. Yeah, you got to go to Drink Champs. Someone sent me the clip, but it's at the go to like the 105 mark and hit play on the Drink Champs and you'll watch it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be headline news tomorrow. But yeah, man, Jamal Charlo went off today. What else? What else went on today? And that's basically it. But I thought I had a group of y'all in here yesterday. You know, and I figure we'll deaccelerate. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I don't think it's gonna be a show Thursday. I may go live for a few minutes on my way to my hotel, but I don't think we'll go live Thursday. So tomorrow, man, I'm not gonna title it. All right, but man, we talking hoes tomorrow. All right, we gonna talk some Valentine's Day shit tomorrow, man. The leg of the breast, you know what I mean? Oh man. So yeah, man. So that's basically where we at, man. And I thought this may be a decent conversation to have. You know, I've been watching so much historical content the last few days. I was watching James Baldwin today, or listening to him as I was running around the house. And every time I listen to James Baldwin, I forget that he's gay. I ain't lying. I'm like, he's gay though. You know what I mean? But he's making so much sense. And that's the more beautiful thing about it is that Truth and Drew Titan just wants to get in real quick. Okay, Drew. Shit. Since you can whoop my ass at you can do whatever you want. What's up, man?
What's good, family?
What's poppin'? How you feel, man?
Chilling, man. Yo, listen, I need everyone to listen, even the young cats. A situation happened today, man. It's fucking insane. Oh my God. All right. I was coming home, you know, wife hits me up, says, all right, you know how it is, you know, stop at the supermarket, get something, whatever. So I go to the supermarket. Now there's this known elderly fella who lives around my way. He's not wrapped too tight. And I'm in the supermarket. It's like he's one of those dudes that, like, every time you see him, you gotta fucking avoid him because he always does something crazy. I don't know who takes care of him or whatever, you know. So I'm in the supermarket and I grab whatever my wife said she needed. I'm walking down the aisle. Boom, there he is. So I try and go around him. He said something to me. I had my headphones in. I ain't listening. He said something to me. I just looked, shrugged my shoulders, kept it pushing. So I'm online, and you know how you have your music in your ear. And you just notice something's off because people keep looking at you. So I'm like, you know, what's going on? So I go turn to my left. This old motherfucker decks me right in the side of my face.
What?
Yeah, right in the side of my face. Now, I ain't feel it. He's an old dude. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he hit me and he was screaming at me. He's an EDP. You know what I'm saying? So I just looked at him. You know, and believe it or not, you know, I've come a long way. I didn't get mad, you know, but he went for another punch and I grabbed him, like, by his wrist. I done dropped the fucking eggs on the floor. So I grabbed him by the wrist. Now, my first instinct was to headbutt him. Now, and I looked at him and I said, if I headbutt this man, he gonna die. So I'm grabbing him. I'm looking around like, yo, could somebody else, like, grab this guy or something? Just hold him for a minute so I can go get another dozen eggs. He's an old man. You know what I'm saying? So I went to go to the fucking, you know, the Dominicans came down, they holding him, they talking. I think the guy's Spanish or some shit. So they were talking to him, whatever, and I go back to get some other eggs. I get back to the line, right? The police showed up, you know, but here's where it gets interesting. Police show up, and they're talking to the guy, and they already know him. They're saying, yo, look, this guy always doing something. Did he hit you? I said, yeah, he hit me, but, you know, he's an old man. What the fuck? He ain't doing no damage. I just want to pay for my eggs and go home, man. So he's like, all right, press no charge. I said, it's not gonna make any sense pressing charges for what? Nigga's like 80 years old for what? I said, I'm good. But if he's wandering the streets like that, it would be in his best interest to whoever's taking care of him, they gotta like watch him when he goes outside, right? So now watch this. I go home, right? Drop off the grocery. I go back out, right? Because of course I fucking forgot something from the store. I go back out, right? I go back outside. That fucking old nigga is standing outside, like in front of the store now. And I'm like, yo, he wasn't escorted home? What the fuck's going on? So now I go back in the store, walk past him again. He act like he didn't even see me. So, the nigga's like, he's like whacked out in school. He crazy. I go inside the store, right? Get what I need to get. When I'm coming out, don't you know 4 kids was jumping on him, beating the shit out of him?
Are you serious?
They were beating the shit out of him. Now, I don't know what happened. But they were beating him. There was blood everywhere. I go outside, and some of the employees, they go outside. And, I push the kids off, whatever. They go running. And it's crazy because the kids all live in the area. I recognize every last one of them. They're like 14, 15-year-olds. They go run off. So Poppy was sitting in a pool of blood. Same 2 cops that left, or the same 2 cops that came back. And I said, yo, listen, man. After the situation with me, you were supposed to escort him home. Or wherever the fuck he said. Wherever the fuck he lived. He lived close. He's always out here. And this was what I told him before they left, you better take him home before he get himself into trouble. Now, I don't know what he did to these kids, but, I'm 44 years old. And when he hit me, I didn't budge. I'm looking, I was like, what the fuck was that? And he hit me. It actually felt like he threw something at me. But he hit me, and then he went for it. His teeth were grinding, whatever teeth he had left in his mouth, and he went for another hit. And I grabbed him, and I'm like, yo, if I headbutt this dude, he gonna die. Right? So, I leave, come back, and now these kids is whooping his ass. And I'm like, oh, shit, what the fuck is going on here? Right? Ambulance come. I don't know if he dead or not, but they beat the shit out of him. Right? Now, it's just weird because this is off the heels of us finding out what's happening with Claressa Shields' brother. And that's why I found it so strange. Isn't it funny how life revolves around something in the sport of boxing? Mm-hmm. And I said, what the fuck is going on, man? Those kids, now, allegedly, the lady standing out there, she said that he said something to those kids when they walked by, and they just turned around and started whooping his ass. Mm. Yo, listen, that was an old man, because I can guarantee you, whatever he said to them, if I said it to those 4 kids, they'd have kept walking. Yo, family, we got to make better choices, man. We got to make better choices. Don't do that shit, man. I know the man's crazy. And, obviously he's going through something in his brain. He wasn't on no medications. I see him around a lot. He's walking aimlessly in the street, and sometimes he just be turned up and he be like looking for conflict. But for the most part, people laugh it off and walk off. He snuffed me today, but it was hilarious. But those kids whooped his ass, and it's just funny how the universe works out, man. The 1 minute he's hitting me, next minute I'm trying to save his life.
Wow.
You understand? So, and I don't even know. He could go to the hospital and die for all I know. He wasn't moving, man. He wasn't moving. I said, oh my God, what the fuck is going on outside? And it's him, 4 kids, and they just ran in all directions. I see those kids a lot. They in high school. I see them a lot. I don't even know if they live around here. We got 14 buses that come in and out of where I live. But they beat the shit out of him. I don't know if it's going to be a case. I don't know if that guy's going to die. I don't know if he's going to, I don't know. But it's just weird, man. It's just fucking weird, man. That's the, family, we got to make better choices, man. I know they probably thought it was cool to jump on this dude, but they did it because they can do it. How it relates to boxing, Claressa Shields' brother, look, that I know was on his mind, but they hit him up with the misdemeanor, and the dude has a record. yo, family, we gotta make better choices. You don't do that shit. You don't do that shit, man. That man is dead ass 80 years old, like, or something, man. And you know, he's fucking harmless. He's fucking harmless. And if I could take a shot, a blindside shot by this guy, it really didn't feel like much, but off of principle, when I grabbed him by the wrist, I said, if I headbutt this dude, he's gonna fucking die, and it's gonna be something else. Just that quick. Just that quick. The choices that we make could change our existence in a heartbeat.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? You ever like ended up somewhere and something happened, you're like, shit, just 2 minutes ago, I was just walking down the street and now I'm about to go to jail, or now I'm about to die, or now something about to happen to me that just 2 minutes ago, I was fine. And now I'm here. I'm telling you, those kids, they just thought they were having fun jumping on that guy. If that dude dies, now it's going to be a big thing. And they're going to be sitting in the goddamn 4-5 precinct talking about, yo, that dude said something to us. We just jumped on him. We didn't know he was going to die. Your life has changed forever. I feel bad for that old man. I feel even worse for those young kings. Well, I ain't going to call them kings.
Did they get arrested?
I feel worse.
They got arrested.
I don't know. I don't know. I went home, man. I went home. Police came back. They said, what happened? I said, this the fucking guy. I told you guys to make sure I get home. Now some kids don't whoop his ass. You see what I'm saying? Now you see, my first instinct when he did that to me was to headbutt him. But I wouldn't be on the phone with you right now. I'd be in the precinct right now, writing a statement, explaining why I killed that man. You understand what I'm saying? Jeez. We have to make better choices, man. Everything that we talk about, you know, the show yesterday, I was listening, you know, with Malcolm X and everything. All of this shit is related, man. It's us. Why the fuck you jump on an old man that is absolutely he's harmless, man. He just talk a lot of shit, is broken English and Spanish, and that's it. That's it. We got to make better choices, man. We got to make better choices. That was bullshit today. I came home, I told my wife, I said, guess what happened? She said, well, I got punched in the face. She said, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, that crazy old nigga blindsided me right there. She said, what did you do? I said, nothing. Grabbed him by the wrist, and they, you know, the motherfuckers came back and they held him and they started talking Spanish to him, and he was mad at me for something. I don't know. She said, were you okay? I said, I'm fucking fine. I gotta go back to the store. I forgot the goddamn, whatever the fuck my daughter needed, whatever, I don't know. And I fucking ran out and went right back there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you see, about maybe 20 years ago, I might have handled that a little different.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta be better, man. You know what I'm saying? Instead of jumping on that old man, they should have been like, yo, Pa, where you live? Let's walk you home. You know, go get the police and say, yo, that man's on the corner bugging. See if you can get him home. And exactly what I said could happen, not 10 minutes later, it happened. I said, y'all better make sure he get home. Y'all better make sure he get home. I hit hard. And if I wasn't in my right frame of mind, I'd have killed this dude. So what? I've been hit in the face before. I've had bottles broken over my head. It's nothing. I'm still alive. What the fuck an 80-year-old man gonna do with a closed fist but break his hand? Now this man in the hospital. I hope he okay, man. I hope he okay. Because now that's 4 kids that you about to see on the news out here. If he dies. Matter of fact, that's a dead-ass assault. They're gonna pick them up. They probably got him now. That shit happened early today. They probably got him now. This is fucking ridiculous, man. We got to do better as a community, man. You know, I don't subscribe to the theory that everyone's saying that, oh, well, you know, it's Clarissa's fault. No. Her brother's a grown-ass man. She ain't order a hit. She's not a mob boss. But I'll tell you what, this is how pussy he is. You think if it was me and you sitting there, he'd have did that? Doubt it. He did it because he can get it off. And I don't want people talking about, well, what about Kovalev or what about... No, it's not that type of conversation. It's different. This is something totally different. We got to respect our elders even when they're assholes. Because not every elder knows what the fuck they're talking about. Let me be clear on that. We got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Know when to walk away, know when to run. We got to be more responsible, man. This shit got me upset. This shit got me upset. This is fucking insane. And it's right where I live, man. and what the show was about yesterday, all of this is relevant. It's all relevant, man. We got to remain united. And yes, Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, they are brothers too, whether they realize it or not, but that's another topic. This is fucking ridiculous, man. We got to be way more responsible than that, man. So now, once again, we're going to have another group of teens about to make the daily news looking like animals. Looking like animals. Their lives have changed forever now. And especially if that guy dies, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for them. Now they're going to be sitting down talking about, okay, let me get this straight. I got up this morning. I went to school. You know, I took a test. I came home and some old nigga just said something else. So we just jumped on him and it took all 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes just changed your fucking life forever. 2 minutes. Make better choices. That's all I got, man. I'm going to bed, brother.
Good night, man. Appreciate you.
Later.
All the time. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, about decisions. About decisions. I think all of us. Oh, let's go. Let's keep it going. 845. What's up?
Barbershop conversation. What's good, my brother?
What up? It's Finesse Hype. What's poppin'?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Shout out to Drew Titan. Drew Titan. Thank God he was the one that dude ran up on. And he has that kind of restraint. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the chat. I ain't gonna stay on long. I just like the story he was telling. I'm gonna just say this. A part of what he talking about, I agree with everything he said. First of all facts, everything he said, 100%, everything he said. When you look at the way that we look at ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and some of this is dictated by imagery, you know, and we so desensitized to seeing certain shit that it seems normal now. But when you look at the way we see ourselves, and I'm gonna give you an example. When you see a white kid put gold teeth in his mouth, pull his pants halfway off his ass, and he start talking like, yo, son, we say that they acting black, right?
Sure.
Because now that has become the imagery of what black is, right? It's the pants off the ass, yo, gold in your mouth or whatever, right? And then when you see a black dude with some glasses on, a button-up shirt, and he's talking proper English, you say he acting white, right? And we've become so like, we've allowed this system to work so perfectly for them that we've accepted this. You know what I'm saying? As if we some kind of, like, we're starting to believe the shit. Like, you hear, you know, because you hear, I'm sure you hear this all the time. People say, oh, you know black people late. Nah, motherfucker, everybody be late. But this is something that we've been told so long. It's so repetitive. Now we repeating it. And I'm going to tell it just based off the story you just told. Just now on the news, I'm down here in Florida, in South Florida. Just now on the news, they were showing how they preparing for the 3-day week in Miami Beach because there's so much violence and they need more police, right? And the images on the news they showed was video clips of people fighting on South Beach. And all the people were what? You know what they were. Uh-huh. And this is what they're showing. It's like as if only the black people be fighting, right?
Wow, yeah.
But I got on my phone. I have on my phone, and this is how my mind works. I was down there one time, and this was after some kind of concert they had, but it was like some rock concert or whatever. And there was a whole bunch of white people out there wowing, and I started recording because in my head I was saying, I know if this was us, police would be out here locking motherfuckers up, right? I got on my phone a recording of these white girls scrapping, pulling hair, scrapping. Police come, and I'm saying this into my phone because I could already see it coming. Police come up, they don't arrest nobody. You know what they do? Oh, keep it moving. Keep it moving. They break it up, get in the girls' fight, break it up, keep it moving. And I'm just saying all this to say, them kids that jumped on that dude, it is their fault because they made them decisions, but I don't even blame them. They the same victims of the same imagery that we are. Them kids are so used to seeing that behavior, they think that shit is cool, right? Them same kids would have saw Drew get punched in his face by that guy and been like, oh, Drew pussy for not hitting him back. Because this is what we selling. You could, if everybody in the chat and you on the line, if we keep it real, we're selling the same shit that we're talking about. We say the same shit that we're talking about. It isn't going to come. We can't be looking for somebody on the outside to come in and make these corrections. Mm-hmm. You understand? We sitting here trying to be accepted, and we trying to assimilate into the savage, but we trying to assimilate into the world of the savage. You understand? And we trying to be what they're telling us we are. Everybody in the chat, because I'm 39 years old, so I'm not that old. I'm not that young. Everybody in the chat remember back in the 80s when the dope game started getting crazy, when the crack started getting crazy. Y'all remember how it was going in the early 90s. So let's not act like violence is not new. Motherfuckers just ain't have cell phones recording everything, and Star Hip Hop wasn't out. It's not going to be until we individually, this is what I keep saying. Like, everybody don't get it, obviously. Look at them 4 kids out there. That's 4 different parents whose kids is out there doing that, stepping on a retarded person's head. You know what I'm saying? Because he said something. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not going to change until we personally change how we even talk to ourselves, each other, how we even relate the pants off the ass, the yo, to being black. We do that too. It's not, none of this shit going to change until we tighten our shit up. And that's what I was saying when I called the other night. This is not going to work. Even you could unify as a front, get all the people together. But until we got our shit right individually, this is not going to work, bro. Raise your fucking kids, man. This shit is not cool. I 1,000% agree with everything Drew Titan said. This shit is not cool. Don't fall a victim to this imagery. It ain't that black people be late. It ain't that black people violent. This is human shit. Everybody be late. Everybody violent. We, being that we got this platform, this is where we make our change. So we start supporting one business, and now we're going to start supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? Raise each other up to be better at what we're doing. As a man, as a husband, as a father, as a son, as a brother, as a friend, all that. As a sister. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to change until we change it. Barbershop Conversations. Fred, I love you, bro. Everybody in the chat, it's all love. I appreciate everybody in the chat, all the information I get every night. It's us. It's us. It's us. And it's something that we can do. Peace to y'all. Have a good night.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All the time. Thanks, Mr. Finesse. Yeah, man. That imagery is, man, whoo, you talk about imagery. Oh, man. I as Drew and Mr. Finesse was talking, because Drew is actually walking the streets I grew up on, you know. And I think about, go ahead, call in. Feel free to call in. I could talk in between calls. The split second decisions that you have to make as a kid, man. And I remember I was in 10th grade. Oh, no. I'm going to work backwards. I remember with the one time I got arrested, and we went to a Kmart, and I was my second year in college. I didn't have much money, so I had to do what I had to do, right? And so I get caught, and the loss prevention officer, talk about imagery, right? And decisions that you got to make. And it was petty shit. It was like everyday usage stuff. I just got caught doing it, right? And so I go on the back. I remember the accent. I don't remember what he looked like, but I remember the accent. He was of African descent. And I'm dead red guilty, right? But the African wants to charge me with grand theft, right? And then the police come. And they arrest me. So I end up going to jail like on a Saturday, and I didn't go to court till Tuesday, right? And I spent 48 hours in jail, right? And the first time in my life, I had no idea where the sun was. I mean, a few of you guys been to jail probably. I don't know, maybe not. And it had, I remember talking to the public defendant, and he was like, man, you can do a year in jail. You can do this. And I go with the judge. The judge looked at this case because I was on it for grand theft, right? The judge looked at the case. It was a white judge, and I was shocked. It was a white judge. And he said, man, this is a petty theft crime. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And then I was released that night under my recognizance, and I got like probation or something of that nature. But you never know, like split second decisions, how they can be elevated. Like, although mine was like a petty theft crime, it could have been elevated to theft. And I had no money, no representation. You never know. Similar to what Drew Titan was saying, those 4 boys' crime could be elevated to attempted murder. You know, you just never know. So you never. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. I was transitioned out of there or something like that. But you just never know these split second decisions, man. Split second decisions, man. You got to make these split second decisions in the sense of longevity. In the sense, it was in Carson. I remember it was the Kmart in Carson. I don't know if it's still there, but it was the Kmart in Carson. Because we were athletes. We was like, we can't do it in our city, because if we do it in our city, we're gonna be in the school newspaper if we got caught. And lo and behold, I got caught. So 870, what's up?
What up, dude? Cap.
Hey, what's up, man? How you feel? First time calling. What's up?
I'm doing good. Nah, man, I called you before.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was listening to you tell your story, man, and I'll tell you something that happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Alabama, right? And I had caught some little charges or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing probation, but I had moved from Alabama to Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing my probation from Arkansas, you know, and then every couple months they had set it up to where I could go back to Alabama, you know, and do whatever I had to do, and I paid, and, you know, handle my business. And so I guess it was like some kind of mix up where, you know, I had finished paying off, I thought,
your restitution.
Everything, and me and my girl thought we had everything paid off. And so they had sent me something, and well, I take that back. They had the police had pulled me over in Arkansas, and I had a warrant for something I ain't know nothing about. So, you know, from Arkansas to Alabama. And so they said it could, and I was working and everything, trying to provide for my family. They were like, man, it could take like 2 months or something. It was a while, like 60 days, or, you know, then they can release you.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife, she had texted the judge down there, the judge's wife, and put on her Facebook page, urgent, all the way down on her Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So the lady finally answered her. And when she answered, she was like, I don't know who you are. She had told the situation. She was like, I don't know who you are, but God laid it on my heart to help your husband or whatever. So boom, she ended up telling the judge, like, hey, this guy, you know, it was a misunderstanding with the woo. And before that, she called the DA lady and was trying to, you know, tell her the situation or whatever. And so I finally, you know, I ended up getting out. And so I ended up going to court after I got out. In Arkansas, I had to go back to Alabama. The judge ended up letting me out. So I went to court, and the DEA woman was a white woman, man. She was trying to make the judge give me like fucking like 5 years for nothing, just because she was mad at my wife for, you know, doing that, man. Yeah, bro, she tried to get me hammered, man, for no reason. And so I just was calling just kind of off the wall, man. That she was trying to get me, hung like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So that was pretty weird, bro. But the judge ended up like telling her like I can't do that to him, and boom, I ended up getting off the beating that and going on by finished paying that little portion and I was done.
Mm.
So yeah, but she was trying to hang my ass just because my wife, she didn't give a damn about me. My wife called her to try to talk to her. Was like, hey man, my husband, it was just a misunderstanding type deal. And she was like, so, and like I say, she went through the judge's wife and the DA lady was mad as hell about that shit. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she tried to hang me. But yeah, man, that's all I was calling to tell you though, Fred. Hey, ain't you gonna be at the fight Saturday?
In Nashville?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there. Oh, you'll be there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Call me on this number. Text me on this number.
All right, I'm gonna say your number.
Yeah, text me on this number. Sure.
All right.
Well,
I got
I'm glad you made it out. Yeah.
All right.
Glad you made it out.
Yeah, man, that was cold, man. I felt some type of way, man. I really wanted to punch it down.
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never felt like that, man. But I really wanted to punch her down, man, because she tried to do me dirty.
Mm.
But yeah, man, that's all I wanted to call you and tell you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Bet.
Yeah, these split-second decisions, man, go a long, long way. Like it's oh man, I could tell y'all some stories in college, man. But the perception of a black man is definitely like, oh, you can catch a football, but that aggression yeah, but you're still a nigga though. You know what I mean? No matter how great of an athlete, no matter how great of a father you are, you're still a Negro. You know what I mean? I can go on and on and on, man. So I'm literally on the line. I'm not sure if you guys understand View Park, Ladera Heights, and I'm literally on the line of county and city. And how you can tell it's county is I'll finish the story after the call. DB, what up, man?
Yeah, what's the word, Fred, man?
What's the word?
Yeah, man, I had a story about this topic, man. Well,
oh, sure.
All right, so it was like a couple years ago, man. So like basically, bro, like shit, I was like driving my friend's car on the expressway. So I was driving shit at night, like it was like 11 o'clock at night. So as I was driving, it was like this couple of shit like in this car. Now they was swerving like lane to lane. I was like on the highway. So they had kind of swerved, they had like sideswiped me on the side. Mm-hmm. Now I admit, you know what I'm saying, I was like, I let the window down, I was cursing them out and stuff like fuck is you doing? Whoa, whoa. They pulled a gun on me. So I instantly drove off. Now it was a car in front of me that kind of like stopped them they had kind of realized what was going on. So they had kind of like slowed them down and stuff. So like they couldn't do it. So like they couldn't drive up on me, like shoot me. Mm-hmm. And I got up out of there. So like a month later, I get like a letter in the mail, talk about a hit and run. Mind you, I didn't even hit this car. Didn't do nothing to them.
Wow.
So I go to court. They extend the shit back. So a month later goes by. I get in a real accident this time. Like I ain't gonna lie, like my brakes and shit, like my brakes and went out on my car. Uh-huh. So like, and I got out the car, but I managed to get the car to stop. So I got out, told the driver, you know what I'm saying, I got my information, you know what I'm saying, because my brakes was like really bad, like to the point it was like a gas station, and that was the closest place to stop. But it was like it wasn't safe for me to like do it, because I felt like I would have lost my life if I would have did that. Like went up in there, because I was really hard to get that car to stop. So the police come to my house. Mm-hmm. It's like they send like 7 cars to my house, like 7 cars. And I'm telling them everything that happened, bro, telling them the truth, like the whole truth. And like basically they didn't believe me, bro. So they tell me like step out the car, pull their guns on me, everything. And they instantly put me in cuffs for nothing. So we go to court. Like I tell them what happened. Like when I told them the report, like they basically like didn't say like all the truth that I really said. So the judge like they had threw the case out. So as we leaving the courthouse, like the officers that was on the scene that arrested me, they tell me, "Watch your back, stupid nigga."
Oh, wow.
And mind you, it was a white and a black one.
That's why I'm not.
And, oh yeah. And guess who the state attorney general was on that case? On both of them.
Ramen.
Kim Fox.
Who?
Kim Fox. Who let Jussie Smollett get off?
Oh yeah. He's back in trouble today. Yeah. Oh man. It's insane, man. When you put that uniform on, you're definitely not one of us anymore. And that's why that question is about what's your moral compass. And what's that black couple that ran from the police but got caught in Florida? Hill and what's it called? Justice and Flo, Slim and Flo, Flo and Slim. What's the name of that? Hustle and not Hustle and Flow. The movie. I saw it. What's the name of it?
Queen and Slim or something like that.
Thank you. Queen and Slim. Where the young kid wants to be a revolutionary, right? And the black cop was telling him, man, just go home. But the 13-year-old kid shoots him and kills him. Now, just because the black cop was telling him to go home, he's still a police officer. You understand? So it's like so what's your moral compass? Like, where does it stand? You know, it's very interesting how we as black people got to play that every goddamn day. You know what I mean? Every day we got to play that. You know what I mean? Because I live across the street from a police officer. And actually the woman who sold my house, her husband is the captain of the 77th Street Police Department. If you guys live in LA, you know the 77th Street Department. So he literally lives across the street from me. So which is ironic, you know what I mean? But it's just the hard truth that we got to swing every time, you know what I mean? Even if it's a black man in uniform, it's just insane, man. You know, so.
Oh, yeah, man. And I had another story too.
Ahead.
Like,
Feel free
like
to share.
I called him. Okay, so like this is when I was like a junior high school. So like I told you, like I had got like I was like to it with like some of like the Black Stones and stuff like that around my way. Like we used to be cool and stuff, but like he had kind of snaked me. He had tried to like break in my house. So like this is like towards like the end of the baseball season. So like I got on the bus, you know what I'm saying? I was walking home. Now I kind of like, not by my house, it's like a bush. It's like a big bush like on the side, like where you got to walk past. And I seen him, like I had seen him with like one of his buddies and stuff. Like I kind of knew what he was up to because he was kind of like shady. So I had to walk around the block. I had to like cut through an alley. I had to be there for like 30 minutes, bro. So like when I was walking through the alley, like he had seen me. So like I had ran, like he had called my name, and then I had to like run in the crib. Now I ain't gonna lie, like I had grabbed my gun and stuff like that. When I was like younger, I had to grab my gun and shit. You feel me? Because I was ready to like protect myself. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, if I shoot this guy like that, like if I really kill this guy, like it's gonna come back on me. Like I could probably ruin my life for the rest of my life.
And you will. Yeah, and you will because the self-defense laws in California, it's not even worth having a gun in California. Like in California, the man literally has to be in my house charging at me. You can't.
I didn't get to the.
Go ahead. Continue.
Okay, so I'm thinking like, should I go down the street and go to his house and just go shoot this guy, or should I just do the right thing and try to call the police? So I'm thinking like in my head for my sister, because I had to go get my sister for school. I'm thinking like, you know what? I'm just gonna call the police. So they send two little ass police cars, one like two police officers, bro. I tell them like, I'm telling the people who did this, like why they did this. They look me in my face and tell me, well, so what am I supposed to do about it? I told them like, you ain't gonna do nothing. Like you're not gonna go get the people who did it. And guess what they did? They got right back in their car, turned right back around. Didn't do shit.
Yep. That's the that's the real world. That's the real world. They getting their $40 an hour. They wasn't stressing over that at all. You know, that's why the few exceptions that we get of these officers, and we got to exalt them. You know what I mean? Like we got to celebrate them because shit, what is 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, you know? They just
and then
status quo officers.
And then like fast forward 2 years later, like I got so many stories on the crooked ass police, man.
Mm-hmm.
So look, fast forward.
It might be you. Hey, TB, it might be you then.
No, it's not. No, it's 100% not me. Like they corrupt. Like they like the Calumet City Police Department is the most corrupt police department in the entire United States.
You ain't been there,
real.
Continue though.
Okay, so it was like late night. So I was like, well, no, it was like around like 7 o'clock. Like one day, like I was in my basement watching TV. So I had like some white neighbors, like some old white neighbors. Now I could just hear like my basement, like my room was in my basement.
Your room is in your basement.
All these, you said what?
Your room is in your basement.
I said my room was in my basement. I moved out.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was like, so like I was in my basement, and I could just hear like all these like, oh, stop fucking playing me. Woo. I could hear some black motherfuckers. I'm like, who the fuck is that, bro? I look outside, bro. It's like a whole, like a bit, you know, like some baby mama drama and shit like that. Like the dude, he was punching her and stuff. He was punching her. He was hitting her like in the car, bro. Crazy, bro. Punching her. He was he had jumped on the car, like he was just stomping on this shit. Bro, when I tell you he literally flew off the car onto my old car, like it was a movie. It was like straight out of a fucking movie scene, bro. Mm-hmm. Motherfucker fucked up his ribs, everything, bro. And they hit my car too. Like they had fucked up like the headlight on it. So I'm telling the police, like, bro, he just hit my fucking headlight on, like they just hit my headlight on my car. Like, what you gonna do about it? They tell me, shut the fuck up and go back in the house. We'll deal with it. Didn't do shit about it.
Yeah, it's forever. It's ongoing. You know, I would love to create, you know, spook by the door type of thing where, you know, it don't even have to be spook by the door where we literally police ourselves, you know. It would be so much safer if we policed ourselves, man. Sense of community is so important, you know. Where there was a ranking officer system and, you know what I mean, similar to what the Black Panthers did, you know, it's I would love for us to police ourselves, man. I think like the Bloods and the Crips need to, and man, they need to, man, that's that, man.
Yeah, man, but that's just, yeah, I'm gonna let the brothers in the chat list call in.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we policed ourselves, man, that would just be insane. So as I was telling a story about the police officer, you guys want to follow me in these commercial breaks. My house was broken into in the back, right? I have a deep backyard where if you go through the back, it's impossible to see, but obviously I got cameras and alarm systems and all that. And my house is very unassuming on the exterior, very unassuming. It looks like a little house on the prairie, like nothing. It's very bland on the outside, right? And this the black cop comes, right? And I'm not home, obviously. They probably watched us, and at that time I had a Bentley. So I was gone. And then once the alarm go off, you know, you get the alarms on your phones and shit. So I come back. I was like maybe 7 minutes away, right? So I pull in, right? And there's a black cop, right? And we realized that they hadn't gone through they did the security check, right? Here's the catch. And I picked up on this, right? And when the police officer came in my house looks like so boring on the outside. It looks stupid boring on the outside, right? But when you come in, it's very immaculate, right? Like, you know, interior decorated, the whole nine, the whole shebang, right? And I said all that to say this. My they do the security check. Here's the shit. It was a black cop and a Mexican cop from the 77th Street Police Department, right? They do a security sweep, right? A complete security sweep. And they said, your house, the Mexican guy says your house is all clear. You can go in. The black guy comes back and says, oh, we need to do another check. I'm like, no, you ain't doing another check. I think the cop wanted to rob me. I swear, 1, he wanted to rob me. I ain't gonna lie to you. 2, he wanted to figure out how, because I don't think I had a beard then. This was like 7 years ago, 5-7 years ago. I didn't have a beard. So I look under 30 without my beard. And he's like, how does this black guy have a Bentley? And when you come in my house, it's very immaculate. But like I said, again, on the outside, it looks so boring. And he wanted to go through again. I swear to God to you. I swear to God to you. In my heart of heart, and my mom is listening. I know she can share this story too. He was trying to figure out, how the fuck does he have this house, this car, and I don't find no drugs? I swear to God, I think he wanted to plant some drugs on me, go look for drugs. I swear to God, because he overrode the Mexican officer and said my house was clear. I'm not lying. I said, nah, I appreciate it, man. Y'all can go. Y'all can get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? And my mom is listening, so I know she'll probably call in at some point and share that story, because my mom was the last one to leave the house. And it's just amazing. You don't know. See, here's the catch. People say police officers are great, right? Police officers are great. I want to believe them. Like, I swear to God, I got college teammates, college friends who I talk on a monthly basis, bi-monthly basis, not every day, but you know, the man across the street is the police officer. The man across the street, 2 houses down, is the captain of the 77th Street Police Department, you know. But it's so hard. It's so hard to trust the police department when you get instances like what Drew and Mr. Finesse and TB, what they talk about in the stories that I've told. And it's hard to just converse with them and interact them and trust them on a clean slate. It's so hard. It's so hard. And it's a balance, right? It's like I want to trust the police. Like I do, like I be, but I don't trust them. Like, it's the scariest thing. Like, I didn't, okay, here's the, I was in the car with, it was a man though. I'm trying to think who it was. It was, oh my gosh. Well, I forget who it was, but I was in the car with another man, and we're driving, and we hear sirens, right? We hear sirens. What's up, Mark? We hear sirens. It's sad how much trauma we got to live with as black men, as black people, right? The trauma of the sirens. When the black man hears siren, he's like, oh shit. Then you're like, oh, where they at? You know, because 1, you think they're coming after you, and 2, you like, God damn. And then 3, you know what I mean? And then 3, you know what I mean? You're like, man, they're going to get another one of us. So, you know, that's why I always pull over. And in a neighborhood I live in, it's always pretty frequent. I don't post it all the time on Instagram, but I post it every now and again on Instagram of when I pull over. But that's my life's mission, man. You know what I mean? Especially black men, you know, like I'm very protective of black men, you know. So it's just the things we got to do, man. And that's why we got to push the reality of black men, you know what I mean? Push the reality of it, you know. We're great. We're fathers. You know, where everything what they say, everything in a bag of chips, you know. So, but I know y'all got millions of stories about the perception of the black man and how you've been mistreated because of the perception of black man versus the realities of the black man. I know we got tons of stories without a shadow of a doubt. You know, and And so that's not to say I definitely want to reiterate, because I know police officers will be watching this show. Not all police officers are bad. I follow Officer Norman, and I know many of you guys follow Officer Norman on Instagram or Twitter, or wherever the case may be. And he's is he white? But he's married to a black woman, right? Officer Norman. And he does great things in his community. You know, he does wonderful things in his community. Was it Arkansas? Where's he from? Arkansas? I know many of you guys follow him. So so I can't say that. I have white friends, you know, so I can't sit here and say all white people are bad, all police officers bad, but it's hard to build that trust, man. It's so hard to build that trust. You know, when I ran for public office, this was a hard thing for me to do, because we had a white captain. We had a white captain, 6'5", 6'6", and he just looked like Dukes of Hazzard. You know what I mean? Like, he just looked like Dukes of Hazzard. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, man, I don't trust you. The Whittier captain. Somebody lives in Whittier. Tell me his name. I forget. I don't know if he's still the captain, but you know, I had to go to meetings, had to go to public safety meetings and all that, and I was trying to win their endorsement over, because, you know, public safety is like one of the biggest issues in the local politics, you know. And I'm sitting there. I never once trusted him. Never. He went to Whittier College too. I never trusted that man. I couldn't do it. I you know what I mean? It's, you know, and Whittier PD was mostly white too, if I'm not mistaken. A great percentage of it was white. Very small was black. I think the electric was like 3% black, total Whittier. So I had to go get these white votes, man. That shit was funny. It was fun too, though. It was fun knocking on them old white people doors, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That shit was classical. So yeah, man. But dealing with it's tough, man. It's tough, that balance, man, because I've given up on the notion. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I talk about it here on I've given up the notion on equality. I've completely given up on the notion of equality. Completely. 1000%. I don't believe in equality. I believe in equity. I believe in you get your ownership up. I believe you get your businesses up. You get your money up. You educate your kids beyond the scope of K through 12 education. And basically K through 12 education is basically a daycare while you go out and go get the bread, the bacon, and, you know, the hamburgers and all that. You know what I mean? That's all that is, man. It's social hour for the kids. I don't value public education. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't. Dre and I argue about this all the time. I don't value education at all. I think college is overrated. I think postgraduate stuff is overrated. You know what I mean? As long as you can read, write, addition, subtract, man, I couldn't tell you the last time I did a fraction. You know what I mean? If I do, I just put it in Google and it gives me the answer. I know it's important. You know what I mean? Like I don't read into it. Like I don't subscribe to it, but we can have this conversation. Maybe that'll be Monday's topic of conversation. What up, man? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Y'all know who this is.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
What's up?
Man, I wanted to go in with you with that, in agreement with what you're stating about education as well.
Oh, that was take your time. Take your time and breathe a little bit. Take your time. That's all you. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. But no, I was having this conversation at work as well when it came to about the thoughts of college, because I ended up going for my master's degree, and I feel like it was a complete waste of time. It put me in a big hole of debt to go along with it. On top of it, and the reason for going in that debt was at the time of me doing my military service, getting out, because I got out before this new plan for veterans for college before the post 9/11 thing came about. I was under that old GI Bill system, which was archaic as shit, because all it did was pay $1,000 a month for you to were you supposed to afford your school. It's like nobody can dare pay for courses for $1,000 a month unless you're going to junior college. So I'm end up having to take out loans and all type of crap on top of doing this. But along with me going through this process of I was going for a business degree. Now, if you're going for something like a doctorate, engineering degree, those specialized type of fields, yeah, college is important. But on the side to go in for business, and it was always a thing when I was going in there where professors were speaking, because there's a lot coming out of some of the Yale professional programs about how the business schools didn't create leaders, how they speak about leaders aren't created, they're born, or something like that.
Sure.
And to this day, I really kind of feel that way. Like a lot of this stuff you can learn just from studying these things on your own. Like everything that I've applied that I learned in school is everything that a person who I see with their own business, with their own hustle, they gain on their own. They gain through their experiences of getting out there and doing it. And with me, with a business degree, I haven't gone about using my business degree to start a business. I got business aptitude from what I've learned, but I could learn all this shit on my own. But now here I am paying back these high debt as loans. It's probably like something like $120,000 I owe back. But I'm like, for those type of degrees, if you're not going for something specialized either. But the other reason why I went to school to work on the degrees was I was trying to go into to be a pilot. The school I went to was the Aeronautics University, but it was like right around that time when the economy started to F up. So it kind of like railroad a bunch of shit I was doing, but it still wasn't. It's still that the degrees I have, to me, I don't think they're worth it, especially with the type of debt that I took on. But I'm definitely in agreement with you. But for developmental education with kids, I think that is highly important. Making sure your kids are highly skilled enough to where they're really learning the mathematics, learning their grammar, things like that are highly important, so where they can advance themselves in understanding things. But yeah, I definitely second you with on that college thing, depending on what you're going for. Business degrees, you can avoid that shit. These business programs aren't worth it.
No, you're right. It's definitely, man, I couldn't agree with you more. It's so, I don't even give a damn about paying my motherfucking student loans back, Sally Mae and all that shit. I pay I have no desire to pay it back. I think I'm paying 80% interest because I don't care. I ain't lying. I swear to you, I think I'm paying like $160 a month. $161 a month. It's on his desk somewhere. I don't even take that $161. I don't care. Just leave me alone. You know what I mean? Just keep my credit score good. So, you know what I mean? But I can give two shits about college, high school, middle school. All I care about is, can a guy with a gun get in this school? That's all I care. I mean, for the most part, you know what I mean? I care about the what the teachers look like, obviously, and you know what I mean? I want as many black men on campus for Lincoln and Asian men for Lincoln, so you can have a sense of role models, a sense of self-dignity, you know. But I swear to you, I wanted to make sure like is it curves in the office and shit? Like that's all I cared about for the most part. Like, what happens if a man with a gun comes on this school? That's how will y'all stop him? That was my biggest concern. You know, so you know, I don't give a damn about the older you get as a man who and a woman. We got Pretty Kelly in here who wants to learn, and I'm not speaking for you, I'm speaking for me. The less respect you will have for any historical content you learn K through 12 and even college. You won't respect it because the origins in which they taught it comes from a perspective in which you can't respect. You know, it's scripted, you know, so I think that I was a history major. I was going to be a lawyer, and I have no respect for the historical stuff I learned. I'll tell you guys a great story. Red, you still on there, right, Red? I know you mute me all the time.
Yeah, I'm on
okay.
Mute. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of my fucking advisors now. I've been trying to think of them for a long time, but I was doing my senior project, whatever it is. You know, his name would come to me. at some point, and I was going to do it on Martin Luther King, right? And he says, well, if you do this on Dr. Martin Luther King, you know you have to talk about his infidelities. You know that, right? And I was like, I sat there and I looked at him and I was like, So I just did it on Sojourner Truth. You know what I mean? I just did it on Sojourner Truth. You know, I was really angry that I was in college in the 90s, so cell phones and shit wasn't popping. But if I would have rehashed that conversation and went to his office and recorded his ass. But you know, it's just I don't trust the historical content. I'm very cognizant of like the world we live in, and the harsh realities is I'm literally waiting on the world to break Lincoln's heart and Kennedy's heart. Isn't that sad, Reg, that I'm waiting on that? Is that sad or is that reality?
No, it's reality. And that's exactly what I teach my kids. When I teach my kids, I am so open with my kids. My kids are open into the politics. That's the one thing I refuse. I refuse to baby shit with my kids or to put my kids in this space where, you know, back in the day, ain't no kids around here, get up out of here. I would never do that to my kids. I want them around for every conversation that's being held. I want them to hear it.
Yeah,
I watch some of the language I use, but it's to really open their eyes, because I refuse, because the one thing I hate is for when I see a black parent that sits there and cry about some white kid that said they don't want to play with your black kids because they're black. F you is what I teach my kids. You're much at a higher standard. What they don't want, you can feel the same way about them, and you don't need them.
No idea.
And along with what I teach them, I teach them about the whole racial dynamics and the twists and turns of life, but it doesn't push them away to where my kids become racist or hateful towards whites, because that's not in the hearts of black folks. As much as white folks may think we want revenge, we don't think about y'all like that. But even when I teach them, and I teach them about the ills of white history in America, it doesn't push them away from having white friends. They still play with their white friends. Their white friends adore them. When I drop them off, ain't nothing but white kids that come up there to hug and adore them, and they appreciate the hell out of my kids. But I teach my kids, as you age, some of the behaviors and ideologies of some of these kids may go off into some darker shit. I teach them to be like, F you motherfuckers. You go on to do your own things, but my kids have a high standard of pride. They have a high understanding of what's out here and how we gonna push around it, and how we amass to it. Because I already have to check with people at the school where they go to, and this is the other thing with the system of with the school system, when they think that they're black boys who are by themselves. I wish my son was up, because my son has been like, you know, knowing alphabets and Sonic, Sonic sounds counting to 100 are like 2. And so at 5 he's reading that. I can get him to read the goddamn newspaper, but one day when he's up, I'm gonna have him come in here and read. And we're doing math. Like, my son is like academically brilliant. So when he starts school, their mom was checking him because my work time. So they're checking him into school. He's the first day of school. So they got them lining up, doing shit. He's bored. He don't want to sit there doing the shit. So he acts out. The first thing this teacher says she does is have to evacuate her classroom. And he's the only black boy who's in the class at this time. Evacuate the classroom. They called the mom and got to talking about the special ed shit.
First thing. That's the first move.
The first day, yes, because they thought it was only his mom. They didn't know that I was in his life, because when their mom was going to school, she only had her as a contact. That's what the principal said. He didn't have me down as a contact for both my kids. I got twins, and so when we had this meeting, man, when I went up there, checked them on some intellectual type shit, but on some real dominating black shit. And these white folks fear me at that school, fear me. So when I come up there, I make sure, I'm like, man, my kids ain't going, no, we ain't checking them out of this classroom. We ain't doing none of that shit. This teacher gonna teach my kids like she does her favorite white student. You don't do everything. And then it was like, along with this, when how I made them look stupid and shit with that, my kid, they ain't nothing. Matter of fact, at this school, there's nothing they can teach my kids. We've been teaching them this shit since they've been like 4 years old or whatnot. But it's just like how parents have to be in tune, especially when it comes to mothers, because this is the only reason why they pulled this with him. Is they thought that he was going to be a black kid who will act out, thinking he's only raised by a mother, thinking this is a black mother who will drop her kid off and not care, you know, because they the food slip up and stated that he deals with a lot of these parents who, when they drop their kids off, the kids is the responsibility of the school,
Sure.
to where these kids aren't attended to. I'm like, no, you fucked up with me on that. And I had this principal scared of me. So when I come up there, they come at me the right way.
Mm-hmm.
They come at my children. But that's all I want, man. But we have to be attentive, and we have to be authoritative when we're dealing with these people.
Facts.
There's
Oh
no
my
reason
God.
why we
Yes.
can't have-
Yes.
Yeah.
Preach.
We should never show fear with none of these fools.
Preach.
And I'm a living testimony of that shit. And along with me, and the other side of me, along with me growing up in the hood, having many experiences that most people. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get Craig to call my homeboy. I'm telling you about the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
He may open up to a lot of our life stories, but on top of what I grew up from, I've always pushed. My thoughts was never be a dope dealer. I've done shit to selling drugs and shit, but not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my life has always been to challenge myself on some professional shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what life is about. So we're greater than that. We have to be authoritative in our push to gain our piece of this goddamn nation, because this is ours. And any person that come at you with some sideways shit, if you're talking about you a king better check these damn pawns. But that's all I got on that one.
All right. Appreciate
I'm back in the chat.
Oh, thanks, King. Appreciate you. Man, I want to tell all y'all, and I only can speak from, I'm not going to forget this thought. Man. You're up. What's up?
Hey,
what's up?
What's up?
No,
I just wanted to speak on the whole thing that Omega just said, because that struck deep with me.
On who just said the last caller?
Omega read in the chat.
Oh, Omega. Oh, I missed it because I was listening to Reggie Owens. But go ahead.
Okay, yeah, he said we have to stop sending our kids to the enemy. I agree with that 1,000,000,000%. Like, you don't even know. So when I always had, you know what I mean, entrepreneur blood. I always had businesses or whatever, but I was going like, I don't know. I just had a business, or really like two sources and a couple revenue streams, but nothing like major.
Mm-hmm.
But when I found out I was pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
it was over. That was the time I said, okay, I have my child in my stomach. Like, my child is with me 24/7. I'm in control of what my child eats. I'm in control of my child being safe. Like, I just have complete control. It's so dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went out somewhere, I don't know, and I seen people dropping their kids off at daycare and people dropping their kids off at school. And it just struck me different. Like, wait a minute. How can you have this child love and nurture and just want everything for your child, and then one day it comes into this world and you hand it off to a stranger for 8 hours a day? The fuck? The concept of that seems bonkers. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, so you know what? I have to do what I have to do as a mother on such a high level that my kids never have to see the inside of a daycare. Not one of my kids is ever going to daycare. That's one. Two, I had to make sure that if they didn't want to go to school, they didn't have to. And sure enough, my son went to school for as long as he wanted to, because other people put in their heads, oh, you have to have social interaction. There's plenty of other ways to get social interaction than going in the motherfucking school. But he went, and he seen how it was, and he said, okay, no, Ma, let's do the whole homeschool thing. I'm like, cool, he's 8. Like, that's how it goes. And me personally, my personal experience, let me see. Anyway, so I went to high school, but I dropped out in 10th grade. And I'm going to tell you why. I dropped out in 10th grade because the New York public school system didn't deem kidnapping or rape as a viable excuse to miss school. When that happened, they were going to hold me back. I was going to get left back for some shit that wasn't my fault. Soon as I pieced that was it. Fuck school, fuck you, fuck this principal. But here's the dope part. I never, ever, ever needed nobody to tell me to pick up a motherfucking book for me to pick up a book. My husband went to Oklahoma State University and played football. I got real cool with his professors. And I asked him for the lesson plan. Let me see what you read. Let me see what you're doing. Let me sit with you. Let me befriend you. And pick up the books that he was reading. Pass his test, his take-home test as a college football player. What they don't tell you when they say, oh, yeah, here you go, you can take this home. He wouldn't have made it through college if it wasn't for me. So at the end of the day, and mind you, I can't tell you one of my motherfucking friends, nobody I ever went to school with in any grade that makes anywhere close to what I make. So it's not about school. Like, school doesn't make you smarter or anything like that. And college is really just a setup to put you in debt. It's about, will you open up the motherfucking book? Will you use the internet as a resource it was designed to be, something to help you be better, evolve, grow, educate yourself, fuck everything else. Because all of that, you need a high school diploma. I was a broker on Wall Street at 18 years old, 19, sorry. I passed my Series 7 at 19, one of the hardest motherfucking tests in this world, second to the bar exam. But fuck, no high school diploma, bro. So, like I'm telling you, at the end of the day, all it's about, will you pick up a motherfucking book? Will you educate yourself? Only thing stopping us is us. And the quicker niggas figure that out, the quicker we will dominate. And that's it.
Appreciate you, Pretty Cal. The mogul. The mogul. What up, Silly Gilly? The mogul spoke. Who's this? Who this? 214. What up, Dallas? How you feel, man? What's up?
Yo, what's popping, Fred?
What's popping, man? Don't go off topic, motherfucker.
Well, I'm not finna get as deep as that. Like, you know me. I struggled to graduate as well, but you know me, I'm finna talk about this boxing. Gary Russell calling y'all out. Gary Russell is calling y'all out. When I say y'all, I mean the popular people. Gary Russell is on the outside. He is popular because he's known for the hands. The nigga that's known in, let's say, high school, known for the hands, he is not as popular as the point guard for the high school or whatever you want to say. But he calling y'all out. Make the fight happen.
I'm with it. We're gonna do our part. I may do another. I meant to call Gary today, but I just, man, when you deal, I'm wearing
well,
40.
What happened to? Well, I'm finna. You can get it out today and explain your situation. What happened today?
I said it in the video. Like, man, when you got 2 kids, man, you're dealing with a family. I'm in escrow. I'm sending off loan docs and all that, and I'm being honest. Like, it is not no time in the day. Like, the only time I have is like when I'm walking to and from the gym, and that's what I made the videos every morning, is to and from the gym. Honestly,
right.
And tonight, when the kids go to bed at 9 o'clock, then I gotta hit the live button.
One thing I could tell to you, Fred, I could tell that you're making the video on the fly and telling your true feelings, because, like, you know, you're in the car. You may take the Honda that day, or you may take the Tesla that day. But when I'm with a nigga that's in tune and making his video, he doesn't care if a person walks by. When a person has walked by through your videos, and when we're in the parking lot, you looking like, oh, that means he's like really in tune to just making the video truly, showing himself, in the sense. You know what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Like
authenticity.
You're not like, I need to make a video about da 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 and say da 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 da. No, this is how I feel, and I'm at the parking lot of the gym. Yeah, but Gary Russell, he needs that top commodity fight, and Al Heyman is shitting on him, which is, he's wrong in that sense, because how you did Wilder is what Gary Russell also did, and you need to praise him for that. Like, it's either make a big fight for him or get off the pot.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, this is Gary Russell, bro. Yeah. Like, did he lose to Lomachenko? Yes. That's the only one fight he lost. Yeah. He dominated niggas. Like,
you got 30 seconds, man. Hurry up. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We gotta get back on topic, man. Man.
Oh my God. Okay. You want me to talk about the struggle then?
No.
Yo, I barely graduated. Yeah, I barely graduated, and I had to motherfucking go to Reconnect, which is a better program to get through high school. Yeah, I made it. What did I do? I had perfect attendance, but I slept through every class. Like, if it was a math class, if you couldn't teach me about $1, I wasn't going to pay attention. Nigga. So, me, I was taking, watch this. Yo, Fred, you can laugh at me about this. Watch this.
All right, go ahead.
I was taking English 2, 3, and 4 at the same time because I slept through English 2, 3, 4 at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? So I went, but I went through a little program that like, okay, yo, if you want to graduate on time, this is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, I was like, okay, I do need, I grew up in a high school, boys' phase of life, and noticed that my mama was struggling, even though I was helping pay the bills, but like I wasn't thinking about the long term. So I'm like, school wasn't shit, but school is some shit. That not to say you need it, but yeah. So I graduated. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you graduated.
Yeah. I got that diploma. That's something that,
I don't even know where my high school diploma is at. I don't even know where my high school diploma is at. I don't even know. I have no idea.
I don't even know either, because that's not I'm gonna ask you this.
Why did I just say that to you, man? That was anyways, man.
No. Well,
hurry up.
Okay. Is a high school diploma a major accomplishment?
It's an accomplishment. It's totally perspective. You know what I mean? You got if you got 4 siblings, yeah, it's an accomplishment. Hell, fuck yeah, it's an accomplishment. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, watch this. I'm the 50%. I got 2. Me and my little sister.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you don't want to answer the question, but
no, I told you. Yes, it's an accomplishment. It absolutely is.
Okay. Well, put it like this: we're 100 because we both got them.
Okay.
All right, yo, talk to the rest of these niggas.
All right, talk to you tomorrow. Peace, nigga. What up, Reg? What's up, man?
Man, I was just about to say, hang up, man. This dude needs to sober up. He called every night with this intoxicated shit, man. We be on some real shit. I love you, my brother. But it's time to wake the fuck up.
He gonna call back now. He gonna call back and get you. He gonna call back and get you now.
Man, I know what you're gonna do, but we ain't got time for that shit, man. Hey, but I was gonna say, man,
yes.
Get Blue Blood to tell his story. Blue Blood, call in and tell that story that you told on World Breakers channel about the when you was caught up in that sweep. Please call in, Blue Blood, and tell that story, man, because it's a very deep story when it comes to what we were talking about with the inequality of the system and the this disparaging shit that Black folks go through when it comes to dealing with it. Blue Blood had a dope ass story, real touching.
Oh, that was like 9 months ago, right? About the shooting, right? I watched that.
No, this is about when he was in a program for going to school, and he was at the phone, and the new NYPD doing sweeps, and he's on the phone talking to his brother, and he turns around, the cop got a gun pointed in his face. Dude was like undercover, and dude, the dude ended up trying to plant drugs on him and send Blue Blood to the Rikers Island. He said he was in there for a number of months. They was trying to give him like 15 years or something. Ooh. He can tell it, man. Please call in, Blue Blood. I'm gonna hang up so he can call in.
All right, peace. Blue Blood, call in.
Right now.
Call in. All right, appreciate you. What Blue Blood doing up right now? Nigga should be slick. You can. Oh, Blue Blood don't know the number. Can someone put the number in the chat for Blue Blood? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then see, here's the flip side. There was a police officer who paid for me to go to a camp, which helped me get my basketball scholarship. So it's different. You know what I mean? So there's the, the yin and yang. But I do want to reiterate what Reggie Owens and Pretty Kel said. Pretty Kel didn't allude to this. She believes in homeschooling. But when you go into these schools, man, you're the expert on your child. Ain't no teacher. Listen, man. I'm in expectation of you saying my child ain't shit. I'm in expectation of that shit. Like, for real. What? No, I'm in complete expectation of it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's gonna happen at some point. You know, Lincoln ain't perfect. Kennedy ain't perfect neither. You know, I don't have model kids, model citizen kids. You know, that they gonna be kids and they gonna make mistakes. And but you got to stand up. You're the only expert on your children, mommy and daddy. That's it. On educating our children. I would love to get y'all perspective, because like I said, I only been a parent 5 years, so I'm all ears. I want to learn everything as much as I can, you know. So so yeah. What else we got? Waiting on Boo Blood to call in. I don't know if Boo Blood gonna call in. You know what I mean? His whole house is asleep. I don't know if he could talk right now. So but if he can, you can call that number, Boo. But yeah, man. My mom called, but I put her on hold. I wanted her to tell the story about obedience versus sacrifice. There's a story where I should be dead right now, but she called in, but Kel called in just before she did. So I took that call. And but yeah, man. So yeah, we got 30 minutes. I appreciate you, DB. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm waiting on who's this? Who's this, Boo Bud? Oh, this is my mom. Hey, Mom, what'd you call him for the first time for? What'd you call him initially for?
Hey, Mom, what'd you call him for the first time for? What'd you call him?
Turn me down on the computer. Yeah.
I was calling because, shoot, I forgot, senior moment. Anyway, you wanted to talk about the time my house got shot up in 1988.
Yeah, 1022 West 91st Street. Talk about it because these men need to know about obedience. What's it called? Obedience over sacrifice? Is that what it's called?
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Obedience is better. So tell the story.
So I worked at Kite's Restaurant. I lived on 91st?
1021 West 91st Street. 1022 West 91st Street, apartment 3.
1022 West 91st Street, between Normandy and Vermont. Mm-hmm. And I worked around the corner at Kite's Restaurant. And
on 92nd on 92nd in Vermont, which is about right from our front door, probably.
It's in between the two, yeah.
But I want to give the visual. It's probably about from her work door to our front door is probably 400 feet. Right? 500 feet?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. A half a football field. Okay, go ahead.
Right. So then I, from New York, always made them go to bed at 9:00, 30 minutes to mess around and get into bed. And I trusted them to go to bed. They're in junior high school. This particular Sunday night, my boss asked me to work late. Mind you, I gave them the bedroom with bunk beds, and I slept on the couch.
We in a 1-bedroom apartment. The living room is by the front door, and the bedroom is behind the living room, so they can get the visual. Yeah, okay.
So my boss asked me, could I stay a little late? And first I said no. Then he came back and said he really needed me to stay late, so I did. And people came because, you know, in 88, it was a lot of hustlers up and down Vermont.
No, Bob. Bob lived in apartment 1. He was a drug. That was Bob. That they were coming for Bob, I believe.
Okay, all right, but
anyways, we'll continue.
Some of the customers came in and says, "Man, They had a bad shootout around the corner. And I'm still not thinking, I have no idea that it's my apartment. So when I do come home, it's like 12:30. So I walk in and I see the cotton coming out the pillows. Rhonda and Frederick is in the room, and I'm thinking, oh, they done snuck in the room real quick. And I woke them up and I said, you guys had a pillow fight? What did y'all do to my D pillows? You know, and they're saying no. And I'm like, don't lie to me. What did y'all do to my pillows? And they saying nothing. So I go back and I sit down and I'm looking around the room and I see a hole in the wall. And then I look, I see holes in my drapes, and I called my mother. And I said, Mom, I said, somebody was shooting around here. And it came through my walls. And she says, get out of there right now. Anyway, when we did come back to move out, I got the bullet that was in the wall. It was like one of them long rifle bullets where the point is maybe 1 inch long and the other part of the body is like 1.5 inches, like one of them rifle range that the military use, those long bullets. And it's frightening because I had just came to California in '86, don't know many people, don't have a car. It's just me and my children on the west side. But I was so thankful that they were obedient that night, you know, and they did listen to me, you know, and I think that they had enough fear to honor my teaching to them to go to bed.
At 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock. But Frederick, there's one greater than that. One of your callers was talking about taking a stand for his kids, and you know your kids. Well, in 2013, my grandson, who was affiliated with a gang, got caught up. And for 3 years, I went to court. I went from Los Angeles to Riverside, back and forth 3 times a week. And this particular time, he was leaving and he turned his head to nod at me in the courtroom, and the sheriff bailiff threw him down. And when he threw him down, he's hollering, Granny, 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 help me. So I go up to the front. I don't go between the 2 swinging doors that would allow me where the defendants be at. And I'm saying, get your feet off his neck. He's not a dog. He's human. And then when another 2 men came and they were stepping on him, I said, he's not a dog. And the judge said, everybody clear the courtroom. And I would not leave. They were going to have to put me in court that day. I was not going to leave my grandson until I saw them pick him up. He stand, he tell me he's okay. And then they took him to that elevator and took him out of there. Meanwhile, we going back and forth to this court, to the same judge, and I see deliberately they're letting the same bailiff take him after his case is called. So I began to go on the computer and start looking at civil rights and all that, and I forget the word that penal code this, penal code that. So then I wrote the judge a letter, and I wrote it return signature. And anybody who sends a letter to the judge, you can't write on the back of it. All writings have to be on the front. No writing on the back. They'll send a letter back. So they sent it back. So then I wrote it the way they wanted me to. And in that letter, I said to him, you have seen that my grandson and that bailiff do not get along. Are you in collusion with the bailiff to give the defendants more time? Now, my grandson was facing 3 strikes, would have been 25 years, and they wanted to give him 20 years for for what he got arrested for. But I say to the mothers, the fathers, the grandparents, stand your ground. Study the penal code. Study whatever it is you need to study. Like that little lady said, use that computer, use it. My grandson was facing 45 years. He's just 26 years old. He got 10 years from me pressing the judge, me pressing the lawyers. They would have threw him away because he had a juvenile record and everything else. Fight. Fight. You may feel weak. You may even doubt yourself sometimes. You may even cry sometimes. But fight. Every man that is destroyed, a kingdom, a village, is not going to be established. I don't know if it's my New York militantness or whatever, but at some point you have to realize that our Caucasian people, their school is brainwashing us. You already say you don't see people like you in the books and stuff. Wake up. Wake up. I'm finished.
All right. Thanks, Mom. All right, peace. All right. We got 20 minutes. Yeah. So she was making reference to my nephew Scooter, man. Oh man, it's heart-wrenching. Man, we did everything we could, man. But people make decisions, man. God, man, we wrapped our arms around that kid so much, man. And you know what I mean? And it's a burden, right? Like the burden I have sometimes and is being the successful one. Like being the successful one, and we all went through the same shit. You know what I mean? Like all my cousins, whether we were in different cities or different states, and I get emotional about this shit too, is that I made it out. You know what I mean? And it's heart-wrenching when you see like your family members and shit that don't make it out. You know what I mean? That don't make the right decisions, and sometimes you question yourself, like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, why me and not them? Or why couldn't it be us together? And oh man, you just 18 years for stealing a car. You know what I mean? Yeah, the guilt of success, and you know what I mean? And I'm like the matriarch of my family now, and it's yeah, it's it's a heavy crown, but someone gotta wear it, right? right. 516, what's up?
Yo, what's good, King?
Hey, how you feel, man? What's poppin'?
I'm good. Yeah, I heard the woman calling.
Oh, this Boo Boy. Man. I didn't even recognize your voice, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm like, who this, nigga? Oh, forget. Yeah, we got 20 minutes. Go ahead. I'm the patriarch. Thanks, Real Rap. I know it's always I say them backwards anytime, but yeah, patriarch. Matriarch is the woman, right? Anyways, go ahead. I don't know. You fill me in.
Yeah,
all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Man. First, I want to tell you, man, I grew up in Harlem too.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Fred know this. My grandmother was in the Audubon when Malcolm X was killed. Mm-hmm. My mother's mother.
Yeah,
she was there. Another thing is my father's father was killed by the cops in 1972, wrongfully killed, and my uncle, my father's oldest brother, was killed by the cops in 1984, wrongfully. And with both cases, my grandmother won. The case with my uncle, she was one of the first people in New York to take the police department, New York City, to court and win. It took her, there was no lawyers that wanted to cover the case in the city of New York. Nobody wanted to take her up on it. She had to leave and go get lawyers in Connecticut and from Jersey because they didn't want to take the case. She won both cases. She got $4.5 million from my uncle, in which his wife was pregnant, and his wife she lost a baby. She went into a coma. My sister, my aunt, my uncle's, my father's only sister, She went into a coma for 60 days. She fell into a coma after that. My uncle was walking to his car. He was going to work. He had his hat in his hand. And the guy that they were chasing ran and slid under my uncle's Cadillac. Back then, he was one of the first people. He had his own clothing line. He had a Cadillac. It was a green Cadillac. The dude they was chasing ran and slid under the Cadillac. And my uncle was getting ready to get in his car, and the cops stopped him. They put him on his knees. We have the tape of him getting killed. My grandmother has the tape right now. I could watch the tape right now. He was on his knees. He was telling the cop, you know, let me show you. It makes my voice tremble, but he was telling the cop, let me show you my ID, you know, because I'm not the person that you're looking for, you know what I'm saying? And the cop shot the first time, and my uncle said to him, hey, you gonna shoot me? And the cop shot him under his eye. Right? And my grandfather, they killed him in Queens, which was his father. So that my grandfather and his oldest son were both killed by the cops wrongfully. And my grandmother was strong enough to fight both cases, and she won both cases. And, you know, she always used to say, you know, that's why we moved to Long Island from Harlem. And she didn't want us to be out there. And oddly enough, it still happened to my uncle, even from the city, you know, so she couldn't protect us. She couldn't protect us from that. And she won both those cases. And his son, my cousin, he lived in Atlanta. He has so much hate towards cops because he was looking out the window. Me and him was looking out the window when they shot him, right? My mother was the first person to run down there and try to help him. And my mother tells us every day that he was staring up into the sky when she got there. And they was trying not to let her through. They put him, man, a lot of people know, Fred knows this, but the movie Do the Right Thing, where Radio Raheem was based off of my uncle. They put him in the backseat of the car, in the cop car, because they didn't want to riot. They took the fire truck, came and washed his blood down the drain. It took my grandmother, because of the case, it took us almost 4 months to bury him because they kept doing autopsies on him because they tried to say he lunged. And one of the cops, the lady that was in the window that recorded it, that we got the tape, the cop shot at her window when they realized she was recording. And they ransacked her apartment. They ransacked her house, but she still was brave enough to come fight. And my grandmother became very, very close. She's very, very close to the family. But she fought. She still came. She came forward. She testified. It took very long because they tried to say he had a knife, and he had his hat in his hand, a derby. You know, he had a derby, a top hat, and so they kept working on his hands to see if he was actually holding a knife or the weight of the object he was holding in his hand. And the guy that they was chasing was under the car and witnessed the whole thing. So he came forward because he realized that if they would have caught him, they would have killed him. So, he came forward. He testified. My grandmother won both of those cases. I wish she could tell these stories right now because she have Alzheimer's. And my other grandmother that was in the Audubon with Malcolm X, she passed away now. She passed away in August. But when it came to me, I was going to school. Everybody knows I'm a surgical tech. So I was going to school, Queensborough Community College. I was going to school for that. I was leaving one night. I got on the bus, Southside Jamaica, Queens, on Sufton. Got off of Sufton. I was going to visit somebody. I called my brother. My brother's in the military, infantry. And so I used his calling number. So if you can use their calling number and you don't have to pay for no calls or nothing. So I was using his at the payphone on the corner of Sufton and 108. And the white dude rolled up on me. He was shaking. He had his gun out. I thought he was trying to rob me. So I told him, when I thought he was trying to rob me, I wasn't nervous or nothing. So I'm like, listen, man, I only got my school books, my medical books, and I got $20 in my pocket. I don't carry cash. So he was shaking. Put the phone down. Put the phone down. So I told him, man, you can take whatever you want. I ain't got nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? But I see his hands were shaking, so I'm like, man, this dude gonna shoot me. So I said, listen, bro, just check my pocket. And it was a Tuesday, so before I realized, the cops hit the corner everywhere. You know, they do the TNT in New York. Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's a sweep in New York. So, you know, they hit the corner. So I kind of relaxed when I realized he was a cop, because then he pulled out his badge out his sweater. He had a hoodie on, and he had on a flight jacket. It was kind of strange to see a white dude like that in Southside Jamaica. But, you know, it is what it is. So I'm like, I'm good. I only have my school books, my medical books. So they dumped all my books out on the hood of the car. Then he comes, I see one cop tell the other cop, yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. So I'm in my head, what you mean? Yeah, that's him. So he goes, yeah, that's him, that's him. So I say, yo, listen, man, I don't know where you getting at with this, but, you know, my people live right around the corner. So he goes, nah, what you doing over here? What you mean what I'm doing over here, man? I go to school, right, at Queensboro Community College, man. You see my school books, you see all that. So they throw me in the van. Like, what? Got me in the van, the back of the van. So I'm like, all right. But when he was telling me, he said, yo, put the phone down. I never hung the phone up, and my brother could hear everything. So I just let it hang. I never hung it up because I knew he could hear me. So my brother could hear everything. So he was calling. He like, yo, you all right? You good? You this and that? So he tracked it, what phone I was at. And he called my mom's and them. But by that time, they took me to Central Booking on Queens Boulevard. First of all, they took me on the suite for the rest of the night for another 2 hours, man, just picking up other people, man, all night while I'm on the van. So then they take me to Central Booking on Queens Boulevard. I'm on Central Booking. I'm like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't had nothing but school books. So I'm like, damn, I ain't get out. The next day, I'm still in there. Man, I ain't get out yet. No phone call, nothing. Another day I'm in there. Like, damn, I'm going on. You can't be in Central Booking more than 72 hours. Then you go to the boat, and then you're going to go to Rikers Island. So I'm like, man, I got a day left in here. So I'm like, yo, I need to call somebody. Like, yo, I need to call my mom, somebody. I know they looking for me. I know they are, because my brother was on the phone. So finally, they let me get a phone call my peoples, call my mother. My mother tell me, yo, they got you for a sale to an undercover. Huh? A sale to an undercover? Yeah, that's what they got you on. They trying to make it stick. I'm like, I have my fucking school books on me. So then they come with a lady that's like 50 years old, handcuff this lady to the cell in front of me. She's sitting there. First of all, anybody know women and men are not supposed to be mixed. They got this lady handcuffed to the cell and sitting in front of me. So, why is this? I ain't paying her no attention. Next thing you know, I go to court in the morning. They got this lady as my co-defendant. So she gets up there. She's like, yo, I never met this guy. Nothing. So the lady goes, yo, I'm like, yo, I never meet this lady ever a day in my life. So, you know what I'm saying that? They telling me, shut up. Rush me back to my cell in front of my mother, my wife, everybody's there. They rushed me back in the cell as if I was trying to threaten this lady. Then they're going to ask the lady if she feel threatened, is she safe? They tried to act like I was threatening her to say that she didn't know me. So I went back in there for another 6 hours, 6 more hours. Come out. When I come back out in front of the judge, it's the Asian judge. The judge was Asian. I come back in front of the judge, and this dude, they're like, oh, we ain't getting nothing on him. You know, the cops messed up, you know, so on and so forth. They said that they had the sale right then and there on tape, but clearly they didn't have nothing. So they released me on the R&R, right? Mm-hmm. R&R. Then I get another court date. The judge going to tell me, oh, don't worry, we'll catch him the next time. What you mean you're going to catch me the next time? I go back to my court date, my follow-up date. When I go to the follow-up date, they didn't know that my uncle was a bounty hunter. They didn't know that I had a paid lawyer. They tried to give me a lawyer that came to my cell and tell me to cop out to a 3 to 5. I said, miss, I ain't copping out to nothing. I don't even know you, and I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't want to see you no more. Don't want to talk to you. I got a paid lawyer. Mm-hmm. So then she leaves. Then the next time I go to court, they offer me, they tried to give me an 8 to 25 for nothing. 8 to 25 for nothing. So I had to keep fighting this, pay with my pay lawyer. They didn't know I had a pay lawyer. They didn't know I knew people. They didn't know my uncle used to be the warden at Rikers Island. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know my grandfather and my uncle was killed by the cops, and my grandmother wasn't gonna have that. They didn't know who they was dealing with. And that's the only thing that saved me. But it's so many different. So they gave me an 8 to 25, and then I had a 10-year ban from South Jamaica, Queens on top of it. A 10-year ban for nothing from South Jamaica, Queens. I had school books. That's the only thing I had was school books. And my grandmother and everybody fought. Or else I would, if I didn't have nobody, I would have been done. 8 to 25, I would have been done. But it's just that I had so many people that love me, man. That's why I tell people, man, if you got people going through the system, if you know people, man, show up, man. Show up. That means a lot. Show up to the court dates. Show up to the courtroom. Go visit them. That means a lot, man. You know how many people turn up missing at Rikers Island? You know how many bodies they find underneath Rikers Island? You know how many bodies they find underneath Nassau County Jail? You know how many bodies is just overall just they don't have no heat in the jails, man. No heat in these jails, man. New York is freezing and they ain't got no heat in there. These dudes is dying from hypothermia and all types of stuff. So if you got people in these systems, man, that's innocent, man, whether they're innocent or not, show up. Show up. Because that means a lot, man. It means a lot when they see that you have people that care. I just got lucky. But I got lucky, but I still didn't get lucky because I still was banned from Queens, South Jamaica, Queens. That's why I go to Jamaica Avenue and I go and I don't do nothing else in Queens but go to Jamaica Ave. That's it. Because they looking to catch me. So I don't do nothing in Queens. I go to Jamaica Ave. I go shop there, whatever I'm doing there, then I get up out of there. If it ain't Jamaica Ave or JFK to the airport, I ain't doing nothing in Queens, man. But I tell y'all, man, if y'all got people in these systems, man, show up, man. Show up. Write them. Show up. Because if you don't, and they think that nobody cares, we finished, man. We up against it. It's not a coincidence that my father was killed. And then let me tell you guys something else. That cop that killed my uncle went and killed somebody else in Arizona. He never went to jail. My grandmother won the case. She won the case. How did he not go to jail? They gave her $4.5 million. And this dude did not go to jail? And he was able to go to a whole nother state and kill somebody else? And they still, from what I'm hearing, he's still in a rehab because he copped out talking about he got addiction. Addiction to killing us.
Mm-hmm.
That's his addiction. Impossible for him not to go to jail, man. And he felt so good about himself that he could do it again in another state. Amazing. My grandmother went to that other state and she made sure she showed her face at that court date. She made sure that he felt her presence. She made sure she dedicated her life to that. But let me tell y'all something else. His son, my cousin, my first cousin. He ended up killing a cop in Atlanta. He got so much anger. But guess what? He got off. He got off. He got off. Because he was targeted. He was targeted. He got off. There was an undercover. There was an undercover. So this is what I'm saying, but you know, and I tell him, man, he got so much anger. He gets $70,000 every 2 months, and his life is in shambles, man. Because he witnesses his life. People look and say, "Hey, man, you got all this money and all that," because they see him who he is today. They don't remember the trauma he went through in 1984 when he witnessed his father die. He witnessed his mother go into a coma. They witnessed his mother lose the baby. She was pregnant with twins.
Damn.
And she lost the babies. He ain't never been the same. He traumatized.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, man, we gotta stick together, man. This is why, you know, I love y'all, man. That's why I love my brother Fred, man. And, you know, I love the brothers LGBT. I love all y'all, man. You know, and this is why we gotta stick together, man. This is why I love what we're doing, man. It means a lot to me, man. It means a lot to me. So, you know, I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you, my bro. I'm gonna see you in a couple of days, King.
See you in a couple of days. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm getting there Monday. I'm getting there Monday morning.
Okay. You trying to
I'll be
outdo me?
there early.
Okay, that's cool. I'll see you Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you Wednesday. All right.
All right, King.
All right, love you, man. Thank you, man.
I love you too, King.
All right, peace.
Woo, peace.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That was perfect, man, because the show ends at 11. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, we ain't gonna. All right. Let's see if I can tell a positive story so we can get out of here. Hopefully YouTube don't cut me off, man. Tell you guys a positive story. Man, that was